no. I'm gonna just let Babyface.
That's not what you were looking for.
No,
Let's go. That's how we start the podcast off.
He knows how to fish for perverted shit.
Yeah.
He knows how to lob it
You
up.
know how to bite too.
Content kings, baby.
It's just, it smells good. You could cook with it. You could lather with it.
I can't imagine anything. I can't imagine putting anything on my face or on my skin, period, that I put in a pot and cook with. Like, I don't know.
You don't have to imagine. You can just do it.
There, but
people put avocado shit on guacamole.
I don't fuck with none of that. So this again,
huh?
Except on sushi. That's the only time.
Oh, for those that, we'll talk about that later. But you might hear a new voice. here.
Make sure you're talking into the mic, man.
Yeah, man. Don't be
all cool.
You're
over
all
there
comfortable.
Like the
this guy gets a mic. He's not even on camera. Trying to look cool and shit.
Yeah, man. Camera ain't on you, bro.
Don't let
He's either too cool or just get the fuck up out
Don't
of
let
here.
these two gang up on you like that. You know what I mean?
It's all good. We know what time it is.
We got another colored person in here.
Rell to the rescue.
Hey, man, we got
racial relations right out the
stick up for
gate.
each other in here, man.
This is what I had to do. When I saw these two becoming all chummy with each other, I was like, oh, God, I'm in for one.
Yo,
for the rest
you
of my
did that
life.
shit, motherfucker. So
I
whose
set
fault
you
is
two
it?
up. No, I know what I was doing. I was
Day 30-something on quarantine. How's everybody feeling? All right, hold on. Real quick. Welcome back to the MikiDz Podcast.
Yes, sir.
Brought to you by DJcity.
Yes.
I am MikiWAR.
DJ Dainjazone.
Your boy DJ Rell.
And go ahead.
Andre Cox is in the building.
There he
But
is.
you might hear us, at least me,
Refer
call him
to me,
Sean
yeah,
Harris
Sean,
or just Harris because
It doesn't matter what he's called.
Yeah.
He's the guy in the
here.
back.
I'm here.
real quick, he was given the name Sean Harris after you were adopted,
I was
right?
adopted, correct.
And
Yes.
then later on, you found out, not too long ago, but later on, you found out your name was Andre Cox.
Andre Cox, correct.
Yeah, so you're going to hear a couple different
Wait, that's your real name?
That was my very first name that was given to me by my mother. And then, when my mother now adopted me, then they gave me the name Sean Harris McKinney.
Wow, nobody gave me this backstory.
Tried to erase the old
You
name.
know that?
No, I just learned that right now on the podcast.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's why I use
You
it as
call
my
yourself a
artist
friend.
name.
You've never asked why his stage name is Andre Cox?
I mean, I just thought the man was a little funny.
You thought he was Travis Scott's not his real
I'm
name, but
French.
you just thought he was doing his.
I'm French. No, I just
Creole,
thought,
bro.
He been saying I'm Creole for years.
We're trying to figure out
I
the
just
origin story.
assumed, I mean,
How long you been Creole?
I found it interesting to use Cox as an artist name, and then I was like,
You know what? Speaking of names, I know where Miki got his name from.
DJ name?
Yeah. Or I know how Miki established his name. And obviously my fucking name is obvious. But we all know you had a DJ name before this. Why the switch from the previous DJ name, what we won't speak on, to DangerZone?
Yeah.
I don't think I ever knew this story.
We'll spend 30
Or
minutes
maybe
on
I
that.
did and I forgot because I smoke a lot of weed.
Well, at that time, I wanted to be a battle DJ. Like coming up, I came up watching those battle videos.
Yeah.
So I thought it'd be dope to go into a battle as DangerZone. And also at that time, I was on my second wave of Lifestyles of Poor and Dangerous by Big L.
Yeah.
And he has a song called DangerZone. And I just had a connection with that song and all the stars aligned.
Makes sense because there's a lot of wordplay that you could do with that name.
Yeah. Yep.
Versus the other name.
Yeah. You learn something new every day.
Other wordplays.
Learn why people got their names.
Well, we're fresh off.
What episode is this? When you say what number episode?
Oh, yeah,
is this?
episode 43.
Correct.
Yeah.
How you say that in Spanish?
43.
Ooh, you see that how
It
that
just
rolls off the
rolls.
tongue? You know what I'm saying? Pause.
So we're fresh off some birthdays in the house, family in the house.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Andre Cox. Would you turn
32.
32?
What?
Magic Johnson.
What? 32?
No
Yo, if
AIDS.
he's 32, we're
Y'all old.
getting old. And DJ Dainjazone,
DangerZone?
happy birthday.
Yep. Thank you.
Believe it or not, Dangerous and Andre Cox's birthday are a day
They're
apart.
apart.
Yeah.
April 18th for
And
me
19th.
and 19th for Sean.
Right.
And on the 20th, it's everybody's birthday.
Right.
Yeah, back in our prime, we could just make a weekend of it and hit some clubs.
Yeah, back in
Right.
the day.
Vegas.
Back in the day. The good
Some
old
good
days.
memories.
You guys are Aries?
Aries, yeah.
Aries?
Uh-huh.
What's like the typical Aries, like?
Fuck if I know.
Arrogant, stubborn.
Quiet,
Quiet.
No, I would say extroverted.
extrovert.
Mostly extroverted.
Okay. I agree.
Fire sign.
I agree with the first two.
Listen, I had a conversation with wifey about it earlier, but hey.
Yeah, I'm not big on all the
All right.
cosmic.
Fair
shit.
enough. And we're still on lockdown here in LA.
Yeah.
How's everyone's health?
Fantastic.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. You know, taking my vitamins.
There he is.
Good. You know, wifey makes sure. She
You
be
gotta
giving me
keep that
pills
immune
like I'm
system up.
65 years old. I'm like, why am I taking all these fucking pills? It's vitamins. Just take them. All right.
She just leaves them on the counter for you?
She hands them to me. She puts them in my hand.
Wow.
Take them.
All of them
All of them.
at once.
Everything. Wellness, vitamins, glucosamine, all that shit. I can't even name all of them that she's giving me, but
You better watch out when you end up in the doghouse. One day she's gonna slip another pill.
I know she's gonna give me one pill and be like, I'm like, what's
You better
this is a different
verify.
one?
You better verify what you put in
Just eat
your
it,
mouth.
motherfucker. Just eat it,
Or maybe it's
motherfucker.
been a while since y'all had sex and she just slips you another pill.
Whoa, my nigga. It ain't wild since we had sex. I don't know what you talking about.
No? Oh, okay. No struggle in that department?
Nope. No sorry, Bob.
Well, you know, let me
Coconut
ask.
oil?
Hold on. Since our birthdays just passed and we are well into our 30s,
We're not well.
Well.
I'm well into my 30s.
Hey,
You're not
hey,
well.
hey, bro, listen,
Don't try to
hey,
be at my level, fam. You ain't at this level yet. You ain't earned these gray hairs, bro.
I'm seasoned. I got a kid. I'm seasoned.
Yeah, that's true.
True.
You
All right,
grow up
yeah, you
faster
gotta-
than us 'cause
Wait,
of-
Yeah.
damn! I forgot my question now because you threw me off.
Well, you know, you got to
But
be a pro at this
It has
podcast
something to
and
do
shit.
with old age and
Maturity.
no. What were you just saying? Oh, sex.
Coconut oil.
There's a few things.
Uh-huh.
Okay, it's like you said, I'm just starting in my 30s. Two things: your libido, which you just mentioned, and then also weight. Two things that you can look at Rell and myself and see that not much has changed there.
Yeah.
And many a time have I heard, yo, when you get this age, it's gonna.
We just got to take care of yourself.
Yo, and that's, you know, it's funny that he said that because that's what I've heard constantly. Like, you know, men's sex peak is, you know, in their 20s, their mid 20s, whatever, low 20s, whatever. It's crazy. When you get to your 30s, it starts to decrease. I feel like it's the complete opposite. for me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, my girl constantly is like, get the fuck off of me. Like, everything that she does, I'm like, come on, let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Don't move. I don't give a fuck who's around, what's going on.
DJ
Let's
Rell.
get it.
This
Let's
podcast
get it.
is
Shit.
taking a hot start.
That's what, you know, that's what I'm saying. I'm sure, you know, you guys can relate because, like he said, we all, you know, we all have.
I
we're all
think
athletic.
going through your 20s, especially running around Hollywood and just hooking up with random girls, you're just trying to get a nut up. Like,
Yeah,
you see
I
a hot
guess that's
girl, you're
true.
just trying to get a nut up. But
True.
then through those experiences, you learn something about yourself.
True.
And then, you know, you get to this point where you got a girlfriend now. It's just like, all right, I know
you
how
can
to
do some
move
experimenting shit.
and-
experimental shit.
You know, you know, where my head's at with that situation, I'm good now.
Oh yeah. So I mean, listen. I mean, I'm having fun. We're having fun. When I say we're having fun, I mean my fiance
I hope
and
she's
I.
having fun.
Not Sean and not Audrey and I.
You and Sean having fun?
Listen here.
Anyway, about our health.
Hey, my health is good. Obviously,
Rell's back in you back in the gym?
I've been in the gym. I never stopped.
Gym.
Yeah. I just hide it. You know, I didn't want to get judged because we were working out with the trainer.
Is that judgy?
But that's the reason because, like you and I were doing before, we were posting our boxing. You know, whenever we went to go train, when we were posting our boxing things or whatever. And wifey and I stopped doing it, and so did our trainer.
Yeah.
He stopped posting his.
Well, we have the same trainer.
Yeah.
For the record.
We stopped doing it because we didn't. People did obviously, to their defense, they didn't know the circumstances that were taken behind.
Right.
So when you see someone still posting or going to the gym, you're not practicing social distancing. You're still going out, blah, 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 this, that, and the third. And that's not the case. The gym is completely shut down.
Yep.
They have to, before, there's only one-on-one, interaction. Our trainer wears a mask when we're doing the mitts or whatever. He, before the next, client, his next client comes in, we have to leave the room before they walk. He literally is wiping everything down with Clorox wipes. As soon as we finish touching it, weights, ropes, everything, mats, everything is getting wiped down. So we decided not to post anything.
Right.
So that we don't get the backlash.
judgmental
Yeah, the judgmental
backlash.
stuff, and regardless of what it is. So we just didn't post anything. So we've been working out since this all has been going on.
Yeah.
So yeah, we still working out. We worked out on, I think the last time we worked out was Tuesday. We got another appointment tomorrow.
Dope.
So yeah, I'm still working out. Mhm.
There you go.
Yep. I'm still running around the block, doing other workouts, hit Beverly Hills on the bikes.
Did you ride your bike all the way to Beverly Hills?
Absolutely not.
Oh, okay.
Oh man,
That's
what I thought.
I thought you went.
I was like, yo,
I mean,
he's a trooper.
If I would have taken the freeway on my bike, would have been quicker. But no, we loaded up the back of the car.
In which car? Yours or hers?
Sam's.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
we got a bike. I could have put it on the back of my car.
You got a
too.
bike rack?
Yeah, it's something that you can detach. You slap it on the back, and it holds the bike. So
y'all real bikers.
yeah,
Just life. Huh?
So
life.
yeah, man, Beverly Hills. It's Beverly Hills.
It was empty over there, huh?
Inspiring. It's empty, but there were I guess a fair amount of people just walking, and you can see the neighborhood families huddled, but not too close.
Yeah.
And I'm just walking by, and I'm telling Sam, look at us brokies trying to get in the mix, trying to get the scuttlebutt in the neighborhood.
You're not from around here.
Yeah, get out of here.
I wonder how many rings you guys popped on, footer.
Exactly right. Great community.
I'm walking away from their conversation I got to get back to the crib, man. Y'all, I'm around the block. This is me over
ring
here.
Just went off.
My ring just went off. Yeah.
One of these days we'll get into, and it's funny because I think the person I'm dating at the moment asked me this question, but she's like, do you know how lucky you are to have grown up here? And I'm like, I don't, because this has always been my life.
Yeah.
And as far as Dainja and I, we grew up in this area, the San Fernando Valley, which is essentially literally a mountain split from Hollywood and Beverly Hills, and just between different freeways. And it's funny because I never really thought about it, and I think we could probably spend an episode on this, but the fact that we ended up in kind of the entertainment industry and just being musical artists, if you will, or performers of some sort. Yeah. It's kind of just funny. And you never really think of that versus literally probably, I'm going to say, hundreds of thousands of people probably moved just for that opportunity.
Yeah. I did.
Which, Rell did. So that could always be fun. It's always fun to just you just go over to Beverly Hills and man, it's night and day, not only visually, but the weather is way nicer.
Yeah, absolutely. I always felt especially in the entertainment industry, that people who are originally from LA always had an advantage because, we constantly talk about bookers and stuff like that. Some of these bookers y'all either went to school with or know from high school. So you know what I mean? So it's always they got the little bit of the edge as opposed to the transplants that, came here to be successful and had to build that relationship.
But on that same token, if I saw someone from the Valley at a club and I continue to see him or her at the club, I'm like, get the fuck out of here, go back to the Valley.
You say the same shit about your ass.
I'm trying to do something with my career here. You're just here to party. Get a life. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. When I moved to downtown,
why are you following me this route? Go somewhere else. Go do something else.
I came this way to get away.
Go back to the Valley. Okay.
No, I'm not gonna lie. When I moved downtown, I never came back to the Valley. During that.
For what reason would you need to come back here besides seeing family?
There was none.
Yeah.
But it was just a different life, and it's just I don't know. I think sometimes it's great.
But growing up in the Valley, you have everything you need around you. I never went 100%. To LA. I didn't go to Hollywood until later on in my life. And because we have everything, shops and store, everything, we don't need to go to LA for anything.
I've never seen the Hollywood sign.
Well, two things. Yeah. When you're a kid, and I was just saying this to somebody, proximity is a thing. Yeah. You think everything is so grand and so big when you're a kid. You know what I mean? You're driving around, you're like, fuck, that's so big. And when you become an adult, like me driving around now, I used to literally pass Universal City every single day to go to school. Yep. And I would just be like, damn, but now I see it and I'm just like, oh shit, this 10-minute drive. Yeah. It's nothing. It's nothing. So, it's kind of like, it's big fish, small pond mentality, especially with the Valley or anywhere, any little city, whatever. That's how it is. It's I don't need to go anywhere else. If I got it here, then why do I need to go anywhere else?
So that's crazy to me. So you literally live 15, 20 minutes from Hollywood. Yeah. And you mean to tell me that you grew up in the Valley and the first time you've ever been
You ain't
to
been
Hollywood,
to the Statue of Liberty.
I've never, but I have no interest in going to the Statue of Liberty.
We have no interest in. I mean, I can't say that because I don't know what I know when I'm a kid. You don't know what you know.
Yeah, and I mean that's a valid point. I
see that bitch in Las Vegas every time.
What you call it? But I've always had. Granted, I was born in the city. I was born in the Bronx. I lived in Brooklyn for a couple of years. I lived in Harlem, etc. But I spent most of my time on Long Island, which for people who are not familiar with the New York area. Long Island, where I lived, is about an hour, 15 minutes away from the city. So it would literally be in driving to Orange County.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? and you know, same thing with the Hamptons. I was in between like going from the city to the Hamptons. So being in the city, I've been to the Hamptons and vice versa. You know, living closer to the Hamptons, I've gone to the city oftentimes. You know what I mean? Like even going upstate New York where it's more like suburban or whatever. I have family up there and always had an interest in going up there just to see the state. Like I live in New York, I should know about some of this shit. You know what I mean? And I just felt like the one cliche ass thing about New York was the Statue of Liberty. And it was in Ellis Island, which was, you know, someone could make the argument, well, it's in Jersey, whatever the scenario is. So it was like, I never really wanted to go there. But, you know, obviously the Empire State Building and, you know, the public library out there and Wall Street and all that shit that tourists that want to come to New York and see, you know, Rockefeller Center, all that shit, Central Park. Whatnot. I was there on a regular, you know what I mean? Even afterwards. So it's interesting to hear that since you guys even live closer to such a staple area in LA that you guys never had no interest in like being in there.
I guess you can say Hollywood can be equivalent to the Statue of Liberty, where it's just like it's just there. Like I'm trying to think back, but
Hollywood sign.
I don't know if I had an interest in seeing the stars. But once I went out there, you know, I was like, oh, this is actually kind of cool when I went out there with family. But playing sports in the Valley, like you play All-Stars, so the Valley's big enough to where you can have a really good tournament of a crap load of teams. And breaks down, you know, obviously to the best.
You guys had the way better sports teams.
But when we would, you know, so you grew up playing against these kids in baseball and basketball, but then when you play against kids from LA, it's like, yo, these are different kids.
Oh yeah.
And like, no, just like like all sports, like they're a different animal.
Yeah.
And to some degree, they, you know, in baseball, we would be stronger than the Westchesters and the Fairfaxes. But I'm sure them looking at us like, yo, these dudes are different than what we've been seeing out here in LA. Obviously in basketball, they're way better.
Yeah, and football.
But I remember playing, not to go any longer on this, but my junior year, we played against Westchester High School, who was known for basketball at the time. They were number one in the country the time I was in high school. We played them in baseball. And these were the most freakishly athletic baseball players I've ever seen. They could, I mean, not to say they couldn't play. They could play, but you can tell it was all talent with no coaching. Wow. These dudes were stealing second and standing up on the base before the second baseman would catch it on, you know, from the catcher.
Jesus.
Like they were so fast, but they weren't smart. So I'm picking them off because they don't have the baseball knowledge, but freakishly athletic. And they had a guy throwing 90. I'm like, yo, I hope you guys don't figure it out anytime soon. We're fucked.
Off the talent.
But Darryl Strawberry went to Crenshaw. All 9 starters got drafted. So there's always been talent. Like they wrote a book on that one baseball team. Yeah. And I think John Elway pitched against them and beat them. And he was like the backup star. He wasn't
Granada
in
Hills.
Granada Hills. Yeah.
John Elway?
John Elway. Yeah. The starter shit his pants. John Elway came in and shut him down.
And that also, like, you know, goes across the country, right? Like everybody has a different style. Talent's always different. Like for me, when my class, 2003, when LeBron came and played Westchester and outscored Westchester by himself.
And they were one at the time, weren't they?
Westchester was like, well, Westchester was the number one team, I think, in California. Maybe right next to, like, behind them was like Fairfax or whatever. But they were like, yeah, it's the best team in California. And then LeBron came in and literally outscored him.
I remember LeBron's team was ranked like 23 or something.
And that's the same year he got drafted, right?
Huh?
This is the same year he got drafted, right?
Yeah, senior year. Yeah. I mean, that year he went on a tear. I think that's when he beat Melo was at Oak Hill.
No, Melo graduated. Melo was a year before.
Yeah, Melo, because Melo was in college.
He did play Melo.
He was at Syracuse. It was a year before.
But yeah, they did play against each other. Yeah, for sure. Okay, well, that was a long way through our health check. Well, I'll just shout out real quick. I've been doing this Mile a Day challenge, and I just want to shout it out because it's been really engaging with my audience, and it's I don't know. It's built. Shout out to Andy War who really called me out on it.
Miki's brother,
my little brother, and shout out to D Murthy because his tweet really offended me, and it was at the point where I was like, well, his tweet said, if you can't do a mile, if you can't run or walk a mile, you can't do shit. Yeah. And then when I thought about that, I was like, well, damn, like if I can knock this out somewhere between in the 10 to 15 minutes, like of my day, then yeah, I'm really not giving a fuck. right? And I had to like check myself. And so today is day 7. So I've done them all. Thank God.
You got to do 30 days?
They want to do 30. I'm going to just go ahead and put pressure on myself, and I'm going to try and go as far as I can.
Yeah.
Okay.
As so long as we're locked down, fuck it, I got nothing else to do.
Yeah.
With 15 minutes of my day. So I'm like, forget it. And then
your time will get better.
Wait, it takes you 15 minutes to run a mile?
Huh?
It takes you 15 minutes to run a mile?
No. First of all, a little judgy.
I was going to say the same thing. I was like, are you judging my man right now?
First of all, a little judgy.
I just want to go ahead.
I'm about 130 to 150% of your weight. So I'm carrying an extra.
I was trying to inspire.
I'm carrying an extra.
I was trying to be like, bro, come on.
I'm carrying an extra.
That's how you encourage him?
Well, hold on. Now, hold on. Now,
you got this.
Now let me make him feel like an asshole. I still have a plantar fasciitis condition that I had when I was 30 years old. I've had it since I was about 30 or 28. Basically, I had a tendon almost tear when I was 28.
Yeah,
that happened. So then instead of getting surgery, which is what white people try to tell you to do, I had a Thai lady. I had this Thai lady. Everybody's got a family friend that has some voodoo shit going on. Yeah. And so she came through, did a session on, it's essentially the arc of the tendon of my foot.
Yeah.
And so it's one thing to have that problem and be fit like you. And it's another thing to have a 300-pound person on top of this foot. And so the tendon of my foot almost tore. Mm-hmm. And then she came in and did a session with this like wood stick and like literally I wanted to cry. One of the few times I wanted to cry from pain. And after one session, I no longer woke up, and this is the feeling that it is. You literally wake up when your feet are cold like you're standing on needles. Like literally needles.
Not like the feeling when your foot like falls asleep.
No. Like literally someone stabbing you.
Wow.
Every morning. Mm-hmm. And then the only way to get rid of that was there was 2 ways. Put on a sock, wait 5 to 10 minutes, and then as your foot got warmer, I could walk on it. Mm-hmm. And then I'd be good the rest of the day till I went to sleep. And then the other way was just literally like stretches and different things like that, and that would take a little longer. Anyway, I had that condition on 28. Did a second session with her, and then I didn't have the problem for 6 years. Mm-hmm. Last year, this problem came back. Hence, like why I despise and hate and like if there I would rather eat vegetables, and y'all know that's not my style. I'd rather eat every vegetable in the fucking pyramid than run outdoors.
Yeah.
So like
especially on concrete.
Oh, like typically these challenges, like I would go do it on a treadmill, or I'd go I'd figure a way around it.
Go run on grass.
And Danger knows like I could go run on grass. But even that sometimes hurts. But I would say like Danger knows I could play basketball for hours. Yeah. And I'll still go if I have an ounce of energy on me. Yeah. That doesn't hurt because I'm used to it. It's lateral movement.
Yeah.
Running outdoors, running with nowhere to go, really kind of like I hate that shit. So anyway, the reason I'm happy is because I don't, and my time is because at the half mile mark, I typically at this moment, my condition, I have to stop because my foot starts reacting and it starts to tighten up and I have to walk. Mm-hmm. I'm like walking slow to stretch it out and then I can finish. But my mile time currently is somewhere consistently between 10 minutes and a half to 11 and a half. I had a day where it was 12. I had a day where it was like on the low 10, but looking to improve that based on obviously as I lose weight, less weight on me. Yeah. And also just starting to do more exercises to fix my plantar fascia problem. But just something. I only say that because
So moral of the story is go see a doctor and
get your
shit fixed.
She moved back to Thailand, so I would have called her up already, but she's gone. So I gotta find a new person,
a new witch doctor.
A new witch doctor, yeah. But Marcos put me on to somebody who I did go see for my shoulder that I almost like fucked up before my fight, and so he gave me like one treatment before we went to
like your rotator cuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I threw a punch and it was
That
like
shit
a wrap.
Yeah, listen, boxing will fuck your shit up.
Yo, for real.
But we also got to give Miki his flowers because he just put out a mix.
Yeah.
Right? We've been talking about Miki putting out content. And, you know, he put out a mix with Double Down Entertainment.
Yeah, I feel like Double Down gets a shout out every episode.
Listen.
I see what they did.
They know what they're doing.
They know what they're doing.
Bitches.
Hey, yo, shout out to them, man, because they're
Shout out
bringing.
to Jason.
I was telling
Shout out to
Jason.
Zack.
Jason texted me. He texted me some funny shit. He had reached out to me, and I saw that they have Chris Villa coming up, and I was like, bro, y'all bringing in some heavy hitters, and he was like, yeah, man, we're excited. You know, thanks to you guys at the MikiDz podcast for doing this, and I'm like, of course, man, and you know. Like you said, they're on it, man. They're on it with their mixes and everything that they got going on. Oh, shout out to them. But Miki, man, all 90s mix, you know, 90s house-ish, you know.
Yeah, it's hard to describe. It's funny. Somebody was listening to it today and they're like, what do you call this?
It should just be a genre.
Roxbury should be a genre.
It should be. You're right. It should be. But, you know, dope mix. Miki put it out and is getting some great feedback from it. It's just going to encourage you to do an IG Live.
Hey.
Are we getting into that? Well, yeah, I don't know. Should we? Can I say that for another topic?
Nope, that's next on the list.
That is next on the list.
That's next on the list.
Wu Wei. Shout out to my Wu Wei.
I was trying to dodge it, man. Look,
I'm trying to move the offense here,
Right.
Good audible.
No,
Hot route.
Run your route. All right, I'm coming. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I think I don't know if I want to stream. Yes, I do want to stream. Do I want to stream live and like kind of like interact with the crowd live? Like I don't know. I don't know if that's my approach to it yet.
Okay.
I think what I've seen, we've seen a lot now, right? At this point.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I have like two like themes in the tuck. I also have a video recording of this 90s mix, and I kind of want to like highlight where I messed up, like, and almost do like a Shacked and a Fool of like
do like a blooper reel.
Yeah, but like because it's funny because I have to quote Danger because he said something to me as he listened to the mix. He gave me his feedback, constructive criticism, and I appreciated it because it was real. Did
you ask for it or did he give it to you?
No. Well,
I didn't ask for it.
In all fairness, it wasn't about his selection. It was just
no.
As a DJ, I heard this, and maybe maybe it could have been cleaned up or
tightened up. Yeah.
Tightened up. Yeah, it wasn't like you shouldn't have played this track. It wasn't nothing like that.
So if you don't give someone feedback, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
If they need the feedback. I mean, if it's just to pump up their ego, then I don't think they need it.
No, that's what I'm saying. Because that's why I asked Miki, did you ask for it? Or did you just tell him?
Pump here and there, but
did you just tell him? Because he was like, I didn't ask for it, I just told him. So if you don't tell somebody,
I'd feel like an asshole because, and I told Miki, I said, look, and maybe I don't mean to cut you off, Miki, but I said, look, I know what it's like making these mixes where you make a number of different versions and you're so sick of listening to this shit. You just put it all together and call it. But you don't realize there was a hiccup here or there was a not like you didn't line up the waves correctly, not in the mix, but post mix edit, you know, when you on your third or fourth, you know, different take on it. And that's what I heard, or that's what I thought I was hearing, or it was just little things like that. Yeah. So I would feel like an asshole if I heard it and I didn't say, yo.
Didn't say nothing.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so then, and I appreciated that, and I told him, and he had two great standout comments. The first one, I'll quote him when I properly put out the video, because I'm gonna quote him like he's a magazine critic, where it's like something like, this is like one something, what'd you say? It's something like it's one good thing away from being thrown in the trash. But it was so good. Like that was the opening. That was the opening.
Sounds on brand, but
no, but we were being sarcastic.
I don't want your feedback.
No, we were being sarcastic, and I had told him something like, "Oh shit, what'd you hear? That was wrong," and like, you know, kind of like that. Yeah. So I kind of set him up for.
He said, "Oh, you listen to it. I was like, "Yo, around the 5-minute mark, around the 10-minute mark, this."
Because
I wasn't sure if it was a part of the song, but
because when he said, he goes, "When are you sending this to them?" And I was like, "I sent it a week ago. Like I was just giving it to you guys to have it before."
Yeah, I remember you sent it in. They
dropped it, but I had already sent it in. And then when he started hitting me with all these like kind of like, yo, you could fix this comments. That's when I was like, all right, well, fuck it. Like, let me explain my approach because
I said, I can't let you bring the pod down.
there's a lot of good stuff he said.
I said, I'm not going to ignore
Joe,
you. Let my man.
you ain't shit.
I didn't listen to it when you sent it to us because I wanted the numbers on your SoundCloud to be up. So I was like, I'm gonna wait.
Yeah,
give him the numbers.
I appreciate that.
But I listened to it today.
Because numbers mean a lot right now. The other one that was great was the way he described pause. He goes, "You had an elite pause."
An elite pause.
Not just a pause.
What makes a
He's
pause
like,
elite?
you had an elite pause at the 10-minute mark around. God, what is that song? What is love? But I didn't explain to Joe also like my approach, what I was going for it. Like I did it live. This was
I assumed you did
the
it live.
final one that I put out was the third time I had done it ever, and I had just recorded the last two. So then that last one ended up being the one that I decided to make the cut for the final mix. So like I didn't tighten it up kind of on purpose because I wanted to have a different approach where I summarize all the transition moments and highlight all the times I fucked up because I have mannerisms. I think we all do when we're mixing. And then like the elite pause I explained to Joe was and this is the way I'm going to describe it on this Shacked and a Fool, if you will, of my DJ mix, is I disrespected the filter the way I would normally the EQ for the lows. And so when I meant to take out the lows or the bass, I cut the filter. And that created this elite pause. And so I want to highlight those things like, whoops, turn the wrong knob, blah, blah, blah. Like I want to highlight all those different things.
Yeah.
Or like, oops, meant to like have this mix point and so forth. Just like a different approach to marketing a mix versus, oh, this is all the dope shit I did. Like, no, like let me show my vulnerability in doing a mix live. And so I have two more concepts that I'm kind of sitting on that maybe I'll just do the live version, or I was thinking broadcasting this and then doing some fun visuals along with it, which we can talk about. Did you guys see the 4-color Zack?
Yeah.
420 mix.
Yep.
I did. It was extremely dope, but I wouldn't expect anything less from 4-color Zack, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I was waiting for it.
Right.
I think we kind of were all waiting for it just to see what he was going to do as far as, live streaming.
Right.
And I think he might have done actually a do-over set, if I'm not mistaken. But
he did do an IG live for do-over, yeah.
Yeah. Besides that, I just wanted to see what he was going to do on his own platform.
And I think that was actually live. Like he was live.
Yeah. As opposed to putting something together and putting it out or whatever. I thought it was dope. It was extremely creative.
Yeah.
Obviously, the visual effects were crazy and made it just that more entertaining.
Yeah.
On top of all the tricks and stuff that he was doing, wordplays and stuff like that.
Yeah, for anyone who hasn't listened, look up 4-color Zack, 420. He did it for Floster Jamison and Mad Decent.
Yep.
Right? On Twitch.
Twitch.
It broadcasted on Twitch.
Was it on Twitch or was it YouTube?
It was on Twitch, but it's living on YouTube.
That's what it was.
Because the one thing that we have learned from streaming on Twitch is they'll mute certain copyright music, so it can't really live there.
So they won't kick you off, but they'll mute your shit.
IG Live seems to still, the popular thing is get you kicked off from copyright things. I think it's like 90 seconds of a certain song you can't have. But Danger, your thoughts?
He just continues to evolve the game. He evolves himself, and it like 10 minutes in, I'm like, fuck, man, it's just off the bat, like he's just giving you bars, so to speak. But it made me think back to where he popped off in Red Bull 3 style, and the wordplay and the tone play, and I just think he's an even better storyteller now than he was before. And before, we thought he was amazing at what he was doing. So, it's like, I think it's fair to say he's like the king of this shit right now. And he just continues to put different ideas and different things together. And, he has the luxury to do that with the different platforms that he spins on, not just live, but some of the stuff he won't do at Tao, because I've heard him at Tao.
Yeah.
He won't do at Tao, and Tao probably doesn't want to hear dick this and dick that. Although I'm sure he's done it, but to some degree, a lot of those bigger clubs, don't care for it. But
I'm not going to justify why I want to hear that, but
it's Four Colors Zack, the little Dicky of hip hop. I mean, of DJing.
But when you go to a do-over, you want to hear these dick jokes from Four Colors Zack, or So
well, definitely on a live stream too.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I mean, he's extremely versatile, and it was a joy to not only listen but watch too. At first I was listening, running around the neighborhood, and at that point he was just talking.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh well, I've just ran for so long and all I heard was talking. Yeah. And then when I got home and did my homework, I started watching the mix. I'm like, oh shit, I can't take my eyes off this. Yeah. Captivating.
Yeah. It was visual. Yeah. I'm gonna go out on the ledge here and say, and you guys can agree, disagree, or just give me your opinion. And there's so many categories. I don't want to disrespect any like legend DJs, right? But there's in the DJ world, there's so many different categories. Like there's the battle guys, there's the OGs, there's the dudes in New York that created a style and all that. But if we're talking about probably the area we've all highly excelled in or have found success. So this is speaking from our category as a club DJ, performance, right? Wise, would you say AM is probably the Michael Jordan and this is Kobe that we're watching?
That's fair. I think that's fair.
And we're kind of waiting on LeBron to show up eventually. And maybe it's not time to give that crown to anybody, but I think Zack coming from that similar foundation of AM, kind of like just the creativity and the willingness to go on a limb and try some shit. And then he brought in Tone Play to a different platform and now inspired all these other fadeaways and, pull-up jumpers.
Well, I think a big part of Zack's arsenal, if you will, is his personality as well.
Oh, 100%.
So you get a lot of talented guys, but they just don't have the personality on Twitter or Instagram. And, Zack, because he's such a cool dude and he's so funny, he'll have the Flosstradamuses of the world chime in or leave a comment or tune in. I mean, I know this was on Flosstradamus' shit or whatever it was, concert. But
sure.
Yeah, these guys are going to leave comments because he's that dude.
Yeah.
So it's a package thing. Like AM was that dude.
Yeah.
Obviously this was Twitter was around, and I'm really not trying to sit here and compare the two. But there's another there's an X factor about both of them. And it's hard to say if there's going to be someone that can mirror, match, one up what Four Colors Zack's doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can't think of anybody right now. There are a lot of talented dudes, and, you can create the argument even more talented than AM and Zack, but it's a package thing that both of them have sealed up.
It's never been just about skills there. It's always been about just the right time, the right concept, and technology's evolved, right? Like nobody was walking around MIDI pads like when AM was DJing, right?
Yeah.
Like
shit, people barely had Serato.
Yeah, record. The evolution was being able to have a laptop,
exactly,
and unlimited access to music. And
well, you know where the two are parallel. Also, is AM would do the bottle popping clubs and then go do some do over or some cool shit.
Right.
Zack's doing big night live entertainment. He's doing Tao, and he's going over and doing do over, doing the 1-4-3 parties or those cool underground, quote unquote underground parties, and the shit he does with Craze. Like you probably can't count on one hand how many DJs are doing it at that level. You know what I mean? Doing both parties and then whatever in between.
Yeah. It's just a fun conversation to have. And, we obviously see a lot of talented dudes, and, who knows to see where technology goes along with the different skill sets, especially after this quarantine. Who knows who's somebody working on something that we have no idea that's going to happen,
True.
There's so many different ways to go about it. But are you going on IG Live?
I don't know. I might be. I will go.
Some more?
Wifey went on this morning.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, what was that?
Cracking.
That shit was cracking.
Yeah, she had more viewers than him.
Wow. No, she didn't. Don't disrespect me like that. No, she didn't.
How many?
I don't know.
She was close.
I was in there in the 30s.
She was close.
What were you hitting?
She was close. When I went on, I don't even remember.
But it wasn't yours. It was Cherry Poppins.
It wasn't mine, but 80% of the people in there were there for me or whatever.
I'd say that too if my wife was getting better numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is funny because Sean went live for his birthday.
Right.
And then this motherfucker texts me saying, we're going to test your theory. And I'm like, what are you talking about? First of all, I had no idea nobody was holding me accountable like that about what I said on the pod last time.
About 1 to every...
To 1 to 1.5. And then I started thinking about it. I'm like, no, actually, it is higher. Huh?
I would say 1 to 100. I think you said 1 to 1,000.
You said 1 to 1,000.
Yeah, and I was like,
1.5.
I think it's
1 to 1.5
per every 1,000 followers.
Yeah, and I was like, I think it might be 1 to 100.
No, I still don't think it's 1 to 100.
I think because that's where I was at.
I would say, when I tuned in, you had 9.
Oh well, then you just got there.
But think about it.
I consistently had 12 people.
He doesn't have 900 followers.
Yeah.
Hold on. But, and I don't know who else you called in the live, but that does change when you go
that's what I told him.
With other people.
The cheat code.
The cheat code is you get people with more followers, and then when they see that person's live, they go into your live, and now you're fluctuating numbers. I didn't think about that. But yes, I do. I still think 1 to 1,000 is off.
Yeah.
Or I think I went 1 to 1.5 per every 1,000 followers.
Yeah.
But I think that also changes the higher the number. You know what I mean? Like the higher the number, the lower the person per ratio. But I think when you're lower, you'll get that. I don't know.
I went on Karma's live. He did a set Friday night. And
was it the one where this kid spilled the drink?
Yeah,
because I was there for that.
Oh yeah, you came because I mentioned it, and then you checked it. But I think his numbers were better than, or he proved your theory wrong. I think.
I mean, it all depends, man. If you have I think if you build some sort of like anticipation behind you going on live, you're going to beat Miki's theory. You know what I mean?
That's not a concrete theory, people.
No, absolutely.
It's better than Teddy Riley's theory.
That's why it's a theory.
You said it pretty confidently. I don't know.
But I did check into Sean's live to be like, yeah, I was right.
If you just randomly like, yo, I'm gonna just go on live in 15 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, Miki's theory kind of stands with that strategy. But if you build some anticipation you market it and you be like, yo, you give a couple days.
Right, I didn't DJ.
What you call it or anything like that. And people are expecting it and looking up to it. And there's nothing else really going on.
You guys were drunk as fuck.
We was getting lit.
You were fun.
I'm always fun.
You were a good time.
Are you talking about me?
No.
Nobody talking about
when
you.
When you're drunk, you talk about me.
When Joe's not here, his name don't ever come out of my mouth.
I did too. I tuned into your wifey's thing earlier today. I was driving.
Yeah.
And
I was like shots at noon.
And I'm like, I'm driving. And Alex says,
"That's no excuse."
There's no excuse.
Alex, the cop.
Yes,
the officer.
I said,
officer.
I said, hey man, if you get pulled over, I got his badge number, and you could just pull rank. Listen,
I'm gonna need you to just text me a picture of your badge number.
Yeah, right.
And then when I get pulled over, I can just pull up our text.
Yeah, there you go.
And just
there you go.
That's my homie.
But wifey killed it. It was popping. The comments make it extremely funny. Shout out to our boy Waddy J, who's Danny Lay's DJ. He was in there, and that man is a character. So if you ever on IG Live and you need a hype man, boy, that's your dude to go to, because he gets in there and he lights up the comments and everybody starts interacting, and it's just dope. And that's what engages everyone to either stay, want to invite people in there, and be like, yo, the comments are fun, the vibes are dope. Yeah. I literally, within an hour, she was only supposed to do an hour. I made her go an hour and a half. I think in an hour and a half, I probably took 6 shots. So
how you feeling right now?
Man, I'm good right now. I do this. Homegirl Carly was like, Rell's body doesn't know the difference between water and Hennessy. So she made a valid point. I walked out of there like it was nothing.
Yeah, that's tight.
But it was dope. Shout out to her. She's gonna go back on. She had so much fun. She's gonna go back on tonight.
Yep.
Crazy. That's dope.
So yeah, check in if you guys are not doing anything.
Market it properly. You can get a good turnout.
Yeah. She did that. Shout out to Andre. He put together some flyers for her that are dope.
We're doing it all, baby.
Now?
We're doing it all.
Wow.
Don't ask me.
Yeah.
Don't ask.
I got an idea.
All the Rell and Rose mix covers, he did them.
Oh,
Yeah.
I got a guy you need to talk to. Let's talk.
Guess who's doing the new MikiDz artwork?
I'm trying to tell you.
Have your people call my people.
I am your people. Yeah, you are your people.
You'll be in contact with me. Listen, Andre is not taking any more clients on.
Send the routing number, the account numbers. We good.
Set up a bank account, motherfucker.
We all cash over here.
Andre still goes cash.
You know what? You don't want no paper trail. Listen, times is hard right now. We don't need no paper trail.
Yeah, Donald Trump. I'm still unemployed.
Exactly.
I don't have income. What you talking about?
But yeah, it was the only thing is, and which is crazy because we tried to figure out the whole like what makes you get kicked off, like what type of music, what everything. And when I did my IG live for Cherry Poppin', I only got kicked off once.
Yeah.
For my hour and a half that I was on, right? And she played similar to what I was playing, and she got kicked off like 4 or 5 times. And I said it too. I said, IG's a hater when they kicking white women off, right? And I was like, yo, I said, you got to give it to them because they don't discriminate.
Did she have Hennessy in the picture?
No, I did, but she didn't.
See, that's why.
No, not the actual bottle, but you can see it in my shot glass that it was brown liquor. So anyone that knows me knows it's Hennessy.
You came in the frame?
I came in the frame, said cheers, took the shot, and then walked out. I think it's because
she had more people in her stream.
It could, yeah. She might be right. Or it could be because she had less people in her frame and they're like, fuck it, she ain't got enough, let's cut her off. So, I mean,
listen, man, there's so many different ways
we can argue this. Tomato. So, hey, listen, I'm all about my girl doing way better than me.
Go on, fuck that butt.
There's no but. I'm all about it.
This is where you
until she does.
Realistically, I just been in the industry longer, so you know what I mean. I've built more relationships. Yeah. But she's a white woman. She's a beautiful white woman that's about to be a dope ass DJ. You know what I mean? She's a dope DJ now, but she's going to be way better than what I am.
I like that.
You know what I'm saying? So she's going to do better. She's going to elevate. And she's going to evolve in this industry better than I will. You know what I mean? She's not going to go through the shit. She's not going to go through all the trials and tribulations that I had to go through, all the speed bumps that I had to go through because I will be there. She's surrounded by.
I feel like you're setting up roadblocks for yourself at the same time.
I'm not saying roadblocks. I'm saying
you're trying to like give her.
I'm saying in
flowers.
The past, we went through a different era. You know what I mean? Going from analog to digital type stuff and having to adapt to technology and all that stuff, as opposed to already coming into technology and know what that is and being able to utilize that to your benefit, as opposed to us having to learn that shit, being like, what? Like when we were DJing, it was wax in MySpace.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now we like, what? We got to do laptops now. We got pads. We got mini controllers and all this other shit that we had to learn. Like most of the spots we were spinning at had turntables. They didn't have CDJs in them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Learning CDJs. We had to learn CDJs on our own.
You had to bring your own Serato.
You had to bring your own fucking Serato box. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I just think that now because she has an advantage, not only because she's getting taught the digital shit that is already, the industry standard. Yeah. She's got the advantage. Most DJs coming up in that, and she's a female. Mm-hmm. Let's be honest. Females have the advantage.
Woman.
A woman. I'm sorry. She's a woman DJ.
White woman.
A white woman at that. She killing. That's all I'm saying.
You just want to become her manager at some point.
I am.
Just
I told her. I said, listen, 15%.
Well, with getting kicked off, that does bring up a good point because, one of my fears from going live is the getting kicked off and then consistency with stuff like that. Yeah. And I think we're seeing some people adjust. Shout out to Mixcloud.
Mixcloud, man. Mixcloud.
To me, it's still kind of like the junior to SoundCloud when you think about it.
Are they the Clippers, the Lakers?
Yeah, I think they are.
You can say that.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. And
I mean, shit, it's going to be the same because Mixcloud is going to be the one to go to, and the Clippers right now is the team.
Well, think about it. Well, let's just say they're making a good fight right now. They kicked Hawaii with their live stream. So
and they bought out the Great Western Forum. Cash just to slap the Lakers in the face. Different podcast.
Different references.
Anyways,
sorry, Edwin, we lost you, but we'll bring it back. But with them introducing a new live stream feature, I think really brings some interesting conversations.
Absolutely.
It seems like something that may not all the way be ready, because when you think about it, we all have Mixclouds, but when have we ever pushed a Mixcloud link, whether it be our podcast, our mixes, or different things other than the MikiDz podcast?
I do it every Wednesday.
I mean, I use Mixcloud as a backup. You know what I mean? Obviously, when I'm posting mixes, it's SoundCloud jump, because again, I've already established a following on SoundCloud, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. But obviously, because of the copyright shit, we get kicked off. Mixes get taken down off of SoundCloud and all that stuff. So it's like, listen, I'm not going to keep reposting this and trying to change stuff and keep reposting it. Right. Yo, just go to Mixcloud. My shit's on Mixcloud. It's not getting taken down. I think Mixcloud is going to be great. My thing is, because they did say that this is a beta version.
Right.
So there are some issues going on with it right now. I did see a buddy of mine go on who's like a tech guru. He went on and tested it, and there was some lagging and things like that. And I'm sure they'll work it out. Do you guys think that it's too late now, being that we're at the tail end of this whole, lockdown or shutdown, whatever?
Do you see an end?
I'm saying, that's why I'm saying technically, in quotation, what they told us would be considered an end date for it. Do you guys think that it may be too late? Like, people are either like consistent, because you're either right now, I feel like DJs are either on IG or they're on Twitch.
Yeah.
So you've already asked your fan base, your following, to move from IG to Twitch.
Yeah, I just think DJs will go to where it's consistent. If Mixcloud can figure out some sort of consistency, then word will spread. And I'm sure every DJ, if not every, just about all of them, have Mixcloud accounts, whether they use them or not.
Yeah.
Because their mixes do have to live somewhere without being taken down. And it seems like Mixcloud has a proper licensing, because I don't think they have
the licensing. I think it's just because you have to be a member to be logged in.
You put if you played a Rihanna song, you tag Rihanna and it'll take you to that track, the sale of that track, like on iTunes or something.
If you add the track list.
Yeah, if you add the track list, which I think, I don't know if that's, I don't know. I really don't know what it is, but no other platform does that. So that tells me maybe they worked something out with the labels. Maybe it's temporary. I don't know, but if they can figure out a way to not get it taken down, any mixes down or whatever. I mean, you're a mix platform. Why would you take a mix down or shut a mix down like IG Live?
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I mean?
Because the label will sue you for millions of dollars.
Well, I mean,
but you're also posting
their
mixes on their. Yeah, I understand that, but you're also, people every day, hundreds of DJs are posting their mixes on Mixcloud with, the 5 major labels songs. So it would have been a problem at some point before. Why would it be a problem now?
Yeah. And Mixcloud was basically built for DJs to go in there and put up mixes. Like, it wasn't a platform built to DJs to make money, to monetize off of it. You know what I'm saying?
Now it is.
Well, now it is, but I'm saying the initial reason for doing it, and to give the benefit of the doubt to SoundCloud was specifically for artists. Artists could post their songs up there because obviously they own the rights to their tracks, and they can sell them. You know what I mean? Yeah. They can sell their tracks. They can make it for download. So obviously, as DJs posting up mixes where we don't own the rights to this music, and you know what I mean, we're posting other people's shit on there, they'll be like, whoa, we're not getting sued as, being the third party or the platform that you're posting.
I don't see why they would start it if they know they have to end your live mix. I don't see why they would start this whole thing and then say, hey, label's knocking on the door, we got to shut it down.
You're saying Mixcloud or SoundCloud?
Mixcloud.
Well, it's because they promoted that they're not going to take your shit down. Also, like they're openly saying, yo, this is where you could come.
So that tells me they've had a meeting of some sort to get to do this.
You know what I'm thinking? 2 things. One, I think that they're probably treating it like radio. No?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
The spin gets
exactly. So that's
Which
why
is probably why they've been allowed to do what they've been doing.
Right.
Right. And then why aren't people using YouTube Live? Because if you can post a full thing on YouTube,
because they also have the copyright.
YouTube copyright infringement is worse than I think any
than everybody. That's what I assumed, but you know.
No, that's for sure the problem. But I also find a ton of mixes that we were talking about. Like there's mixes on there that have millions of listens, and it has tons of copyrighted music. You know, there could be a best of Drake. Like that shit's still living there and getting monetized by some random dude who threw all the songs in fucking virtual DJ.
Yeah, our mix, our Rose, Rell and Rose Volume 1 got kicked off because of a Drake track, 2 Drake tracks.
Wow.
So we took them down, took the Drake tracks out and put it back up there.
Did you redo the whole mix?
No, we just took the Drake tracks out.
Shout out to DJ Heart Attack. He did this mix and then he literally put Toosie Slide at the end, and they were just like,
and that's what mine was. My track, our mix was Desires, and it was the last track at the end of the mix.
Oh, that makes it easier.
And I let the whole fucking song play, and I was like, that's my fault. And I was like, I should have known better, but I went on and took it off, and then wifey had Toosie Slide in her mix. So what you call it? What it is, what it is. We should have known better. You know what I mean? So,
well, I mean, it's constantly putting us in a position where we're trying to figure out where the best place for all this stuff to live. Because end of the day, like this is our content, right? Like we're making content. The problem that I see with Mixcloud is at the end of the day, which seems like the most consistent issue would probably be, number one, you got to drive all this new traffic to your profile.
Yeah.
And then now you're building this database and a new customer for Mixcloud. And then what happens when this quarantine is down? Is that still your go-to?
Yeah.
Because now there's less lives? Or is this the new norm or whatever, right? So I think that's the part where we're still trying to figure out. And obviously Facebook and IG is still a problem.
But you have to drive them to Twitch too. I think ultimately it comes down to the DJ and their following and what you can create if you don't have a big following. Like it just makes you work harder and be more creative to get people to not log out, but slide over IG and pull up the Mixcloud app. Because you would have to do the same thing with Twitch.
Twitch, yeah. It's just about dragging your following to a whole different platform.
Twitch is just, every time you talk about Twitch, oh no, they've been, so there's always a good response to Twitch with the whole gaming world and whatever else goes on.
Yeah, the benefit with Twitch is definitely it's established already, like user base.
But I think the benefit with Mixcloud is that if you're a DJ and you already have a Mixcloud account and you've been putting mixes on there, you already have somewhat of a following. So anyone who's already been checking out your mixes and stuff like that already know that you have content living on there. So I think that would be an easier jump from IG as opposed to going to Twitch, which is completely new to you as a DJ and your following.
Can your audio be bounced out from the video and then have it exist on
Mixcloud? I don't know yet. Again,
that could be dope.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is the beta. Shop. They made it like this is the beta version, so I don't know. I'm sure the potential is.
If you like my live mix, check out the rest of my mixes. Yeah, you're right there.
I think that will obviously. I think at the end of it all, like once Mixcloud gets their shit together.
Yeah,
that's going to probably be where most of.
We're really only debating because of the numbers. Like as far as like actually streaming the shit, like it's all kind of the same format. Like so as far as like ease and like the ability, it all just comes down to number one, can their servers handle it?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then because it's all kind of the same way to get yourself up and live, but can you get the numbers that suffice to like your ego or to like what you think you should hit or what your goals are, into a new platform? Like what does that even look like?
Yeah.
So I guess that's part of it. But speaking of servers,
man, talk to him about
versus. Shh. Y'all catch
of course
Babyface and Teddy Riley?
Man, listen.
Well, there's 2 battles.
Well, I only saw the first
of all, listen here. That shit had to be the funniest shit and the most entertaining thing. And I'm not even saying the battle itself. I'm saying the comments.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't laughed that hard in a long ass time. Like, my girl was looking at me like, yo, you're laughing uncontrollably like right now. Like, I don't even, what's your problem? Like, it was, and I'm talking about the first one when they were trying to figure out the sound and shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
We were talking about it, yeah.
That shit, man, I was done. And then the second one.
So the second one happened?
Like Monday.
Yeah.
Okay, I
no idea. So when they canceled, when Teddy Riley couldn't figure out this.
So this was originally scheduled for Saturday. Last Saturday.
Yep.
And for just for the short description, Teddy Riley pulled up with a whole concert and a backup dancer.
He had a whole band.
A DJ, and a drummer. And he was in a sound studio and like going crazy. And everything basically being ran into a dongle, right?
Yeah. Pretty much.
So,
aux cord.
Which I'll give him credit. If you go to the recording on his website that they had of the same setup, same performance, shit sounded dope, shit sounded clean, but nobody's really tuned in. Nobody, like IG Live isn't made for all that.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
And so right from the gate, he came out with his epic dance moves and performances, and we couldn't hear jack shit.
It was a crazy echo. Now give it.
Was it
now
new
understand.
jack? It was just no jack.
Now understand. Obviously, when you request in and you're sharing IG with someone, it splits the audio.
Yeah.
So your sound, regardless of what you're doing, it's already going to be shit when someone checks in.
Yeah.
So he has his whole production, and again, their numbers hit on that first day. Their numbers hit like over 300,000. They were at like 315, 320, which was, I think when T-Pain and Lil Jon did it, they had the record at like 305 or something like that. They were just over 300,000. Yeah. So Teddy Riley and Babyface had already surpassed that before Babyface even checked in. It was just on Teddy Riley. We were just on Teddy Riley's thing. Yeah. And they were like, because everyone, it took about 10 minutes or so for Babyface to check in, because everyone was like, "Oh, Babyface is scary." Like that was the joke, the running joke for, "Oh, Babyface is scared. Where's he at? Where's he at?" And then the sound sounded crisp, right? Soon as Babyface checked in and he was there, all you just heard like this crazy echo, like he was in, like Teddy Riley was sitting in the hallway, and you just heard this just. We were like, "Yo, it sounds terrible," and then Babyface shows up by himself in the studio.
So calm.
Candles lit.
Yeah. I want to be as comical. I couldn't smell him. He smelled good.
Yo, man.
he
had some baby powder on or something like that. And he was just sitting there in the studio.
What's that smell?
He's
logging in.
Laptop.
He's logging in.
He probably had just his laptop and a microphone, and he was good. He said, "Listen, I can hear you fine."
Yeah.
Whatever, blah, blah, blah. And they must have played about 3 tracks each.
Yeah.
And it was just shit from there. And it was just like, we can't figure it out. So they shut it down. Fast forward, they rescheduled it for Monday.
Yeah.
They were like, we're going to do this on Monday when all the sound is fine or whatever.
Somebody had a conversation with Teddy and definitely told him, look.
Like, less is more.
Tone it down.
Just sit and
pull up your laptop, play it off a beat pill, chill the fuck out.
Yeah. We don't need the whole production or whatever.
Don't even put a soft light behind you, like, chill.
So sure enough, that's what it was. Teddy was in the studio just with a laptop and himself and Baby, and they did most of it. I think they got to like 14 tracks or something like that.
What happened? They retired?
No.
Teddy's Wi-Fi.
Teddy's Wi-Fi. Teddy's either his phone was about to die. I guess his Wi-Fi started to fuck up or some shit like that. But whoever was in charge of his shit, Teddy let that.
Hold on. But when he came back, his sound was even better. You remember that? And then he was playing the keys. Oh, he started playing the keys.
Teddy?
When it was just him.
Yeah.
If
his sound would have started like that,
yeah. It's again, because the audio wasn't split. When it's just the audio on you, it's going to sound crisp.
Well, and that was the thing with that rescheduled battle, which hit 500,000 viewers.
Yeah.
Over 500,000.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
And that was a discussion Swiss and Timbo were having about just in general. Like, this isn't equipped to live on Instagram.
Yeah.
Like, this
Not
is
anymore.
something different. It has outgrown that. It was cool, but like now, like, this has really helped everyone kind of take a step back and be like, yo, this is bigger than what we thought.
Yeah.
Got to take this somewhere else. And look, there isn't a single reputable big company brand that's being traded on the stock market that didn't have their Instagram profile commenting to make sure they were seen during this thing, right?
Yeah.
So people needed to be there to be shown.
Yeah.
And so
D-Nice was in there trying to get shown.
Right. Everybody. So I think it's one of those things where it's just like, it's so big, like who knows where it's going to go, because I honestly, I gave up on checking back in because I couldn't on my phone. It just wouldn't let me.
Yeah, a lot of
people. It was crashed.
Yeah, a lot of
And
people were saying
I
that.
finally was able to get in through my desktop or my laptop, and I had to go for a run, and I was like, fuck, like I want to hear the rest of the shit. And I was like, but it was, it was dope for however long it got.
Yeah, it was amazing. for the parts that we had, we heard, I mean, personally, one of my favorite battles out of all the battles that they've been having. If you just know about that type of music and you came up in that era with that music, with the shit that Babyface did, the shit that Teddy Riley did was crazy.
Teenagers.
Who knew that Teddy Riley did the show with Dougie Fresh in high school, bro? He was 17.
He was a junior.
He was a fucking junior in high school.
Yeah,
and Dougie Fresh was only 19. Just graduated high school. You know what I'm saying? Like that was crazy. And I think that's what they were saying, is that once it got to the 500,000 viewers, is that it was IG that started fucking up. Like they couldn't handle all that traffic coming to one thing. So that was the kind of they thought that was the issue with them not being able to, because after an hour it shuts you off and you got to just go back on. So they were like, all right, we're gonna come back on, and they couldn't get back on. They couldn't request back in on the on each other's live. So they were like, oh, they broke the internet. They broke the internet, like 500,000. Y'all kidding me? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, so, and I think Miki's right. Like, it is bigger. My thing is, why not reach out to whoever is running the servers and shit like that on IG and be like, yo, how can we fix this? The numbers are not going to do anything but increase from here on out.
I think they gotta move it.
You think they move it to a whole different platform?
Yeah.
YouTube could probably handle that.
Probably YouTube.
Probably.
But they need to move it.
I think this is a great opportunity for you, or excuse me, for IG to be like, listen, let's step this shit up, because we could lose a lot of shit. We could lose a lot of traffic right now.
So I beg the question in this versus collection of battles we've had, who takes it to another level? Like, who are two artists that take
beg
it?
that question on the spot?
Yep.
Oh no, we talked about
because
it earlier.
I think one of the
comments.
people that you can name might be in one of our future topics.
Yeah.
Artists?
Yeah.
You said it's Stevie Wonder and Quincy Jones.
Absolutely.
That's the ultimate.
So okay, I'm not speaking.
You can't put those.
Let me not put the legendary
tag on
status on it or tag on it, because I'm gonna argue with you that although I agree as far as like the level of catalog, I'm speaking in behalf of numbers. And I don't think even Babyface and Teddy have the reach for the people that are on social media the most, the youth.
Yeah.
It's Drake versus
Kendrick.
Won't happen. 50 Ja Rule won't happen.
50 Ja Rule might happen.
50 Ja Rule,
that might happen
for the sake of entertainment.
To my knowledge, they still really hate each other. That's the only reason why. But I don't. What do I know? I just know what I hear.
That might happen.
No, that's.
But I don't. You can't put Quincy and Stevie against each other.
Why not?
Quincy is like executive produced for
Michael
multiple
Jackson
artists.
Stevie
just worked with Stevie. Collaborating wasn't even a thing back then. Oh, you can put someone else against Quincy.
You don't think Stevie has a real?
Right, who?
Red Fool's dad, Barry. Barry's not on Instagram.
But Barry's more known for Motown.
Well, when Barry's time was up, or when the music shifted,
And did he produce
Quincy,
records?
Yeah,
he
Smokey
produced
and Quincy.
Yeah. I just think
can put
that
those two. Yeah, Barry had a hand on everything with Motown, and then when things started changing and the business wasn't matching up, Quincy got Michael, and then
he ran with him. Yeah,
took off. Yeah, so like, and obviously there's more to it than just Michael, but yeah, I mean that's like you got to put executive producers against each other.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you got to put artists against artists. You got to put
Yeah.
songwriters against songwriters. Producers against producers, so on and so on. That's the only way that's going to make
like
it fair.
a Puff Daddy versus Kendrick wouldn't make sense.
Well, yeah.
Puff Daddy versus
But
JD.
that's basically what you're saying.
Jermaine
though,
Dupri.
like,
I think definitely.
that
Your
makes sense.
executive producer battle.
I think that's a battle that can reach those numbers, if not surpass them.
Right. Speaking of Drake,
Yeah.
Toosie Slide broke a couple records.
Of course, it's a Drake record.
What's the records he hit? That TikTok. Well, there's a TikTok record.
Yeah.
Where he is. Well, first of all, he's first male artist to have 3 number ones debuted on the Billboard Hot 100. Has made TikTok history, and the Toosie Slide hashtag hit 1 billion views in just 2 days.
Yeah.
Not surprised.
What's crazy is now with 3 billion views and counting, it's just crazy to see what this guy continues to do. But Danger brought up a great something he saw on the gram.
Yeah, so Charlamagne the God said, I think this is in regard to making, what's it called? Toosie Slide?
Yes.
Tootsie Roll?
Toosie.
He said, I think it's beneath Drake. Charlamagne explained during an episode of the Brilliant MikiDz Podcast. A lot of times with those TikTok dances, it's just podcast, organic. It's a what?
It's a good podcast.
It's good?
Yeah.
A lot of times with those TikTok dances, it's just organic. It's a song people like, and somebody does something to it, and it goes. It was like it felt too forced, too corporate, too industry. I just feel like Drake has built himself up to be such a way that he don't have to do this shit anymore, or he doesn't have to do this shit. But the big clip was, why be a surfer when you're a fucking wave? When you're the biggest rapper in the world, I don't like to see you chasing trends. So, yeah, how do you guys feel about that?
I think it's complete bullshit.
How so?
And I'm taking a hot take.
Oh,
and
go for it.
I have to. I'm gonna go ahead and say that when we're talking about Drake, if he's a surfer, he's Kelly Slater. He is the most famous surfer because what he typically does is
Kelly
ride
Slater,
a trend
popular surfer.
Huh?
Is Kelly Slater a popular surfer?
It's the most famous surfer,
okay.
probably. Arguably. Sorry.
I haven't been
not to be
checking in on the
confused with AC
surfing world.
Slater.
Yeah. I was like, is that AC's sister, brother?
Wow.
Go ahead.
No, but I think Drake constantly finds what the next wave is and rides it in. Yeah. Time after time. He is a surfer. And he just happens to ride the wave better than anybody else could. That's my opinion. Like, I think when he brought in the Afrobeat vibe, when he follows, I mean, obviously the TikTok thing is bound to happen. Like, that's how
they were already doing TikTok shits to his track.
Which one?
What's the one where everyone was getting out the fucking car and doing?
Oh yeah, In My Feelings.
Yeah.
And
no, it's not In My Feelings. Is it called?
It wasn't on TikTok, but that was the biggest challenge because of Shiggy.
Oh, yeah. Shiggy. Yeah. The Shiggy. But that was the Shiggy challenge.
Okay, but here's the thing about Toosie Slide. And the reason, obviously, you know Toosie. He came through here with Michi. Mm-hmm. So he said that what happened was he made the song and it was Michael Jackson. It didn't have the dance. He sent it to Toosie and then Toosie made the dance. Yeah. So technically he wasn't chasing no trends and none of that.
What's funny? I didn't even know it was that Toosie.
Right.
Yeah, I know
Toosie. Yeah.
Good for him.
He's doing big things.
But that's why he kept.
I'm sure he is.
Getting pubs? No?
I'm sure he's getting.
No question.
Inspirational.
His name is in the title. You got to get some.
You got to get him.
Drake could give him a bottle of 1942.
5.
And be like, yo, man, thanks for making me even more of a millionaire. Just like you did.
3 billion. 3 billion.
Good Lord. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that's my opinion.
Yeah, no, Drake's been a wave rider, and he'll deny it, and I'm sure he has his reasons, and I'm sure they're legit to some degree. But this just felt a little too forced on the surface. You know, this seemed like an easy, quick money grab. I thought the motto was a quick money grab, a quick, easy single that everyone's going to get catchy with. Like, because it's nothing original, it's nothing new, but you know it's going to work. And what was the other one?
Hotline Bling is another one.
I'm like, every Drake song, though. We can't sit here and do this.
You're describing Drake.
Yeah, you can't do that. Right, he's a walking meme.
I'm saying those situations were, like Toosie Slide and the model, were higher than any other situation. Like, those were the most obvious. The model, that beat is like, when it came out, it was like 7 years old, right? Because it sounded like the Jerkin shit.
But the model is not considered Drake track. Isn't it Nicki Minaj's track?
Oh, no, I think it's Tigers.
Or not Tigers. Lil Wayne or Tigers or whatever?
No.
Now, you know what? It is Drake's track. It is Drake's track.
Yeah, so, and then there was another one that sounded, it was Nicki Minaj.
Oh, I'm thinking Truffle Butter or whatever. Yeah.
That's Nicki's. That's Nicki's. But
I think Bling is worse because it's not even his record. I mean,
he stole that shit.
Yeah, I know.
Right. But my point is, both those situations, Toosie Slide and the model, were so obvious. And to me, this was just like a quick cash grab. Like, look, y'all are bored at the crib. I'm going to put together this simple-ass dance. Mention Michael Jackson, not do anything that Michael Jackson does. And walk around my fucking museum of a house.
He grabbed his crotch.
Yeah. Okay.
He did the leg kick and everything.
Show the random dude chilling on the couch, and I'm sure he has a name.
Yes, Jazz Prince. Yeah.
There you go. What was it?
Jazz Prince.
Okay. Jazz Prince. Yeah. Yeah. So it was just like, I don't know. Does he come out with this if we're not quarantining? You know what I mean? Like I just think it was a quick money grab.
I think so.
He can do this shit 100 times over and over. That's why. That's
he has.
Yeah, and he has. So that's why it's like nothing. No news here. Like.
But is it beneath him to do this?
Yeah. Why?
You know what I mean? I don't get. I guess that's the question.
I don't think it's beneath him. I think that's on
that's
brand.
Who he is.
Brand.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I think Charlamagne's expectation, or I guess people who agree with him,
said that shit.
They're just people who have higher expectations for Drake.
He's always challenged Drake.
Yeah, you have this, but that's how he got here. That's what he did.
Yeah,
right.
You know what I mean? And like that's who Drake is. So for you to expect him to be anything different than that, that's on your fault. That's your fault. Like that ain't got nothing to do with Drake. You know what I'm saying? Drake ain't beneath this. That's who Drake is.
Yeah.
My opinion. Fuck it, man. Drake, go get your money, man. I ain't mad at you. Listen.
Right.
Listen. You
right
need
there
a DJ?
with you.
Fuck it. It's entertaining. Watch everybody stupid ass do that shit. The
you need
video
a
a DJ. Oh my God, bro. Oh man.
I'll put that up on the screen for y'all.
Yeah. That's gonna be hilarious.
All right. Well, before we get out of here, there was a fun little conversation. Shout out to AOC. What's her full name? Her whole name?
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
You got it.
A.k.a. Samantha Padilla.
Oh.
Wow.
Huh?
We know what you're imagining.
You don't think she looks like Sam?
I don't know what she look like.
Oh, yeah. She looks like Sam.
She looks like Sam, bro. Like, even Dave Fogg was
wait.
like...
No, I know. Never mind. I know y'all talking about. I know
Alexandria on TV, and I thought it was Sam.
I know.
My God.
Like, she looks like
Did you ask Sam what her top 5 was?
Sam don't have a top 5. I should have. Like, yo, you gonna let her ride out on you like
exactly.
this?
Danger.
Who you got?
No, she was on live with Fat Joe.
She's from the Bronx.
And they were having a little combo, and on the spot asked her, who's your top 5 rappers? And in no particular order, which is very clear, she had, and this is the order she named them in. It was Nas, Big Pun, which I felt like she did it because she was on the spot with Joe.
Or because she's from the Bronx.
Yeah. Or maybe.
BX.
Oh, yeah,
Pun was nice.
She's
man.
Latina.
Pun was nice.
I'm not saying he
No, I know you're not,
to be in the top 5.
He just gets overlooked, I think.
Right. Biggie, Pac, and KRS-One.
Yeah.
And the reason this got on my radar first was because everybody was up in arms that Jay-Z wasn't in their top 5. Yeah. But I think that begged a nice little fun conversation between us on what our top 5s are. And is anybody offended on her top 5?
I'm biased, man.
No.
Come on.
No, I think it's perfect. I don't think it could be any better. I don't think anybody's missing from her top 5.
Nigga, you crazy.
It's because she looks like Sam.
Nigga, you crazy.
She's not trying to argue with Sam's double.
Yo, see, this is the thing. You got to write out whatever the blueprint
criteria.
Of,
no pun.
Of top 5.
Yeah.
Right? Or whatever the greatest
Your
rappers
personal top 5.
And that's what I'm saying.
This is why I don't have a top 5. It's too exhausting.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Exhausting.
But even if you ask me what my top 5 is, what do you mean? Like rapper? Like we're talking about just lyrics? Like who could just spit bars off the top?
See, I mean, then it gets technical, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Or are we talking about someone who's actually made an impact in the industry, has sold nothing but hits, has had longevity in this game and still stay relevant?
Nelly.
But I think
Nelly is definitely he could be an argument.
He's the biggest artist selling in the.
But see, that's the thing. When people ask you that question, like you said, personally, and it's subjective.
Yeah, of course.
It's what you think.
Yeah.
You can't tell
Who
somebody.
are the top 5 artists that have impacted your life? Sean.
Wayne, Kanye, Jay-Z, Fabulous, and then I'll probably throw Drake in there.
Joe.
Oh, go.
I'll go Cube, Pac, Kendrick, probably Biggie and Nas, and like 15 or 20 Jay-Z, somewhere around there.
Wait, what?
I got it.
What?
He says that shit to get a reaction.
Yeah, I don't know.
We're not gonna give it to him.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying. We're not gonna give it to him. Anyways, moving on. I gotta say Jay for sure. Kendrick, Method Man.
Making myself cry.
Method Man, I think Kendrick for sure. And then that last 5 could be like Fabulous, Biggie, like somewhere around there or whatever.
Biggie got to be 1 or 2 for you. He's got the same birthday. Oh no, he died on
He
your
died
birthday.
on my birthday.
Yeah, man.
Miki?
Kanye, Common.
Nelly.
Nelly,
50
Common.
Cent.
No. Kid Cudi. And then those last 2 are kind of like, I guess it just depends on the era or time. I don't know that I think about, but I'd say I'm gonna say Black Star, so I could use up 1 spot for 2 MCs.
That's smart.
And then,
Smart.
1 album.
I could have just said Wu-Tang instead of Method.
1 album, 1 and done.
but I got a signed copy of that album at home chilling. Well, by one of them. And by one of them. And then, fuck, I don't know. I mean,
Lloyd
See,
Banks.
but like
Lloyd
with
was
your
fire.
answer,
Lloyd Banks is fire.
Lloyd Banks was
That's what
fire.
I'm saying. 50 Cent definitely could be in there.
no, but what you were saying,
Nas, I would say
there
would be
you
more
go.
impactful.
Did you say Nas?
he would have been 5 or 6.
What were you
Because
saying?
that first album was the best thing ever.
no, what Miki was saying,
Yeah.
Kanye, Kid Cudi.
yes, Kanye, essentially Kid Cudi is his child. So the reason why I didn't say Kendrick is because I feel like he's a product of Wayne.
Yeah, but well,
So
I'm not saying you're wrong, but I've always viewed the Kid Cudi Kanye relationship as if it weren't for Kid Cudi, Kanye never would have evolved.
Correct.
And then because Kanye evolved, you open the door for Drake and all these other guys.
808s and Heartbreaks doesn't exist without Kid
And
Cudi.
Future, you got
facts,
Future because
facts,
of Kanye, because of
facts.
Kid Cudi, I should say.
right,
But without Kanye, there's no Kid Cudi
exactly.
evolution, right?
He doesn't ascend.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Without Travis Scott, there's no Yeezus.
Right.
Like, without...
See, yeah, Travis is my favorite right now, but I wouldn't put him in my top 5.
Yeah,
He hasn't been around as long as Drake.
he has 1.5 good albums.
And that's what I'm saying.
All
So
right,
that's
but we
what I'm
not
saying.
going
Is
there.
it fair? Is it fair? So because he made a good point.
Rodeo in his latest one?
Yeah, he made a shit. Days Before Rodeo is amazing. That's probably
We're
like
not
his
gonna go there,
Anyway,
okay?
but that's the point. You know what I'm saying? Travis is
Not
an
that kind of
amazing
podcast.
artist right now. A decade from now, he
Am I?
could possibly be in the argument for being top 5 artists. Right?
He's in some kids' top 5 artists for
Absolutely.
Well,
sure.
yeah, that's what I'm saying, because they weren't around in the early 90s when the rest of these cats, when we were listening to the Nas's and the Jay-Z's and the Biggies and the Ice Cubes and, you know what I mean, the Outkast. No one said Andre 3000 or Outkast, but
It's too many to choose.
it's too many. And that's what I'm saying. You have to have, you can say what your personal is and how they affected your life or whatever, but if we're going to make the argument about who is top 5 overall and how they made an impact, if you have certain criterias and you have the blueprint of this is what we're looking for when we say one of the best artists in the industry, then you can all right, we can break it down, right? Boom, boom, boom. These cats haven't been in the game, in the industry long enough to even be in the conversation.
Yeah.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? There's certain people that haven't been in the game long enough to even be in the conversation.
Well, AOC, she's like in her late 20s. So all those names she threw out, I believe her. I believe that she listened to Big Pun at some point in her life. Someone
Absolutely.
older,
You know what I'm saying?
the
Yeah.
older brother or the older cousin.
But she named all New York artists outside of Pac.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, and I feel like if you name Biggie, you gotta say Pac.
I don't know if I believe people when they say Pac now or maybe even some of the younger people, because
She's
a lot
30
of this
years
shit,
He's 30 years old.
okay. But a lot of this shit, like when Pac was popping, I really feel like, and this, you can say this for a lot of artists and a lot of movements in general, you had to be there to really understand it. So I feel like when someone throws a Pac or a Biggie out there saying it because they don't want to get yelled at, you know what I mean? Like a lot of things happen that you wouldn't understand because you weren't there. I don't know what disco is like. I wasn't there. Chill out. Just don't. No old jokes. I don't want to hear it. Not right now. I got to be quicker than you. I'm quick. I'm on it.
See you. You gotta be quicker than
But
that.
I wasn't around when disco was popping. You know what I mean? So what do I know to say anything about disco other than it sounds great, sounds cool or whatever. So I just, when people give their list, like, all right, like I get it, you like his shit, but if you were there, you probably, I just think you have to be in certain situations to really get it and understand.
Let me ask you guys this. Well, how did you guys being from the West Coast, right?
Yep.
Born and raised. How did you guys, if you can remember that far back, because, I know for Joe it was a long time ago. How do you guys, how did you guys feel about Tupac at the time when he was like peak?
I said, this motherfucker's gonna die soon. Because all the shit he was talking, I was like, yo, like.
I'm saying outside of the nonsense shit that he was doing, I'm saying as an artist, as a rapper, as an artist, how did you guys feel? Was he someone like, whenever he put music out, it was like, yo, I gotta run to the record store or whatever to go listen to this new shit?
Well,
or was it kind of like?
From what I remember, the Brenda had a baby moments and all that. Like, I think I was a little too young to get a grip on like what was going on with music, unless it was like The Chronic or Doggy Style.
Yeah.
But I don't remember much about that. But he was respected, especially, because my older brother listened to them and his homies did. So he was respected, but Cube was still that dude in that era. Pac had one incredible album, and it was not even my favorite album, the Apocalypse album. Not Apocalypse, the album with I Get Around. I can't even think of what it is. But that album was my favorite, even though his last album, the Death Row joint, that was his biggest album. Once he put that out, because of all the drama he surrounded himself with, to the marketing genius that he was, that's what made him popular. And to me, I was like, this is too much. Everyone all of a sudden is a Tupac fan. And you heard it in every car when you're riding around the valley or wherever you're going. And I was like, and the homies played it all the time. So I was like, I'm good. Like, I don't need to listen to him like that.
For those that don't know Danger well, he's always been anti-pop.
Yeah, I mean, he's still, even if he didn't like anyone, he would still give them their flowers, being like, yo, they still had a, what you call it.
Yeah, it was a great album, but it was just, everyone was playing it. So
well, you were 12 when he passed away.
I was in the 8th grade.
He passed away in 96.
96,
right?
Eighth grade?
7th. Biggie was 8th grade.
5.
Huh?
Wait, Biggie passed away.
I was in junior high.
Biggie passed away in 97.
Oh, yeah. So then.
So it was in 96 because it was September for Pac and in March for Biggie.
So you're 7th grade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was for sure in junior high.
5th grade. Like, I wasn't impacted by anything Pac did until Changes came out. And then, like, at that point, it was like, oh, like, this is deep. And he's not around. Like, but, like, I couldn't, like, relate to it. My problems were, like, getting home to get dinner.
And that's what I'm saying. That's very understanding because I remember vividly listening to Biggie. Like, I had his shit on cassette tape, and I was 6. I remember, like, being 5, 6 years old, and at the time living in Brooklyn and understood. So the reason why I asked that question is because at that time, for what we know, is that most of the hip hop that the masses was listening to was coming out of the East Coast for the most part, right?
What era?
In that early 90s era, for the most part. I mean, outside of Ice Cube, Snoop, you know what I mean?
Snoop didn't drop to 90. It wasn't until like 93 where the West Coast
that's what I'm saying.
Out.
So in that era,
but NWA had like the late 80s.
Yeah, I mean late 80s. But then it shifted from when hip hop was, you know, from the late 80s when the gang rap started, right? And it shifted into what we consider the golden era, right? In that 90s, majority of the hip hop was coming out of the East Coast. I don't want to just say New York, but it was coming out of the East Coast, right? So I say all that to ask you guys, do you guys think that at the time, Tupac had the influence or the impact that he had because we can make the argument that the West wanted someone to be on that top tier,
right,
like hip hop level as much as, you know, making as much noise as the East Coast was making. Yeah. I mean, not to take anything away from, we understand that Tupac was talented.
Yeah.
There's no denying about that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He did a lot of reckless shit or whatever. And you can make the argument that he was ahead of his time.
Yeah.
Like Tupac would have been amazing if he came out today. Right? But do you think at that time people give that recognition to Tupac because, in layman's terms, the West wanted a W?
I think he was just the next. I think it was just all about money. He was the next lucrative situation. You know, you had the Chronic and Doggy Style. I think Death Row was on top for at least 2 years, and 2 years is long.
Yeah.
Especially when you're in New York and you've been running the game for so long. You're just like, fuck, man, it's already been a year. It's been 2 years, you know?
Yeah.
So I think it was just the evolution of the artistry in the label of Death Row. I also think he was just it wasn't like a plant, like he was a total package. But what he was known for, I mean, where he connected with kids in my age and I guess just the teens in general was his energy and his animosity.
Yeah.
And especially in the Valley where Miki and I grew up, like, I'm not going to say like we grew up in a rough ass area to where you can't walk down the street, but you know, you got checked every once in a while and you got tested. So though he spoke to those kids and connected with them, I don't think he was like, oh, you're our next guy. It was just like, yo, let's get this guy out. There's potential here with your production, your marketing, his flamboyant, wild ass behavior. Yeah. And because Tupac was an actor at the end of the day.
Yeah, he was.
He was an actor, just like Drake is an actor. Yeah. You know what I mean? So they know how to sell a product. And with this gangster rap shit or selling an image, this was nothing to them. Yeah. You know what I mean? I don't know. People may not like that. I just compare Tupac and Drake, but end of the day, you're selling a product. You know, it works.
No, yeah. I don't know. There's so many different ways to, I guess, look at it, but I think ultimately, what Pac brought was mindset that wasn't in hip hop prior. I think at his level, you know what I mean? Like, sure, there's the stories of Dre being in the studio all night long and different things like that, or, you know, different people work differently. And I think we still see it to this day, whether it's a rapper, producer, or whatever, you know, you make hundreds of beats or thousands of beats and one hits and you get some money and people will go celebrate. Yeah. But there's certain, and I think based on at least what I've been able to see, right? I wasn't there. I haven't been able to see you know, what went behind the scenes. Sure, there's plenty more to that. But, you know, what you see is that this guy had a catalog, not only that went out while he was alive, but there was enough of a catalog for albums beyond that. And there's probably still more to that can be chopped up and utilized to this day. Yeah. You know, and we're talking about, what, 25 years now? More
something
since he's been gone.
25.
Yeah. Right. So like to have that much stuff put out and being in and out of jail, right, and in and out of trouble, like the man put in work, and I think, you know, again, one of the things that to fall right back in line with all the people that are gonna smoke Danger for his comments, like Drake is one of those dudes that seems like he puts in that work, you know. And has that mindset that it's bigger than a hit record. Yeah. It's bigger than making $1 million. It's about $1 billion, right? Yeah. It's about all of that. And so I think what Pac did, I don't think it was something that necessarily was like propped for him. It was something that had to be worked for in a way where, although sure the West needed somebody to carry that torch, if you will. I think what he brought to the table was something so unique that spoke to not only the struggles that he observed, but, you know, it was the bigger picture. And I think that's why it translated so well across the globe. Yeah. You know, he was one of those dudes that just, you know, I mean, shit, you could probably go, from what I hear, you could go to a club in England and you could play some Pac and it'd be the biggest record of the night. Yeah. To this day. Like, which is crazy to think. But, you know, it's one of those things where, again, like, even for me, like, Danger jokes around all the time that Nelly was my favorite artist. At a certain point, he probably was, because that was what I was exposed to.
Right. I didn't grow. It's what your friends listen to. And
yeah. I didn't grow up like with relatable problems to Pac. Like, and yeah, I'm grateful for that, but I wasn't cultured. I didn't understand the same struggles that some of my friends went through. Like, I didn't know, you know, like I couldn't relate to somebody who might have been adopted. I didn't know those things. I had to educate myself. And in many ways, his storylines and his story and the way he put music and records out and put things into perspective about the world and the different things that we've gone through, you know.
Yeah.
Along with all the, you know, partying with bitches and.
Hey, man, everybody can relate to that shit.
Right. Yeah. That's where we all come together. No, but yeah, I mean, yeah, it just, I don't know. It was a little later for me.
Yeah.
Strictly for My N-Words. That was the name of the Pac album.
Oh.
That I really liked. It had I Get Around. That to me, that's my favorite, but when All Eyes on Me came out, it was just the lining of the stars and Death Row was a marketing.
I mean, listen, I remember Pac being huge on the West Coast. You know what I mean? Like, Pac being huge on the East Coast. Pac and Snoop was huge on the East Coast. Like, you drive down the block and even at the time when that whole West Coast versus East Coast beef was going on, you know what I mean? There was times where you heard that Pac and these people, motherfuckers was listening to Pac, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I was just like, yo, this dude is crazy. And I'm not saying that, I don't know if people on the West Coast was listening to Big like that, you know what I mean? Or listening to any East Coast artists at that time, you know what I mean? Either regardless if it was due to the beef that was going on or just, like Miki was saying, it was shit that they didn't relate to because it wasn't stuff that they were experiencing or whatever the case was. So I don't know if it was huge over there, but I just know there were certain artists over there. So I'm like, yo, if you, with this all going on and you're still having an impact out here on the East Coast, it's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy. Snoop Dogg came to the Source Awards and started talking shit to New Yorkers.
Yeah.
You gotta have respect for motherfuckers like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, hey, man, listen. I fucks with it. I fucks with Snoop was one of my favorite artists coming up too. So I was like, hey.
You ain't got love for Death Row.
Yeah, I got that on Doggy Style album on cassette as a birthday gift, and I had to hide it from my mom. I fucking watched that album.
That's one thing I never had to do was like hide me. I was given this fucking music. Here, listen to this shit.
No way, man.
Listen to this shit.
You got half naked cartoon characters on the album cover. Like,
it was a dog.
Like, what the fuck?
Man, I could walk to the record store and go buy the cassette tape. Like, yo, I want that one. I want that Biggie one, or I want this one. I almost got hit by a bus in a snowstorm trying to get 50 Cent's first album.
Meanwhile, somebody slid it under my desk at math class.
Yeah, Miki was slanging him. Should have got it from him.
Man,
I was a bootleg king, bro.
Still high school.
That's your fault, bro.
I'm sorry, Joe. Sorry, Joe.
On that note, we've been here for quite a while.
Yeah.
We ran up the card on the fucking camera.
Yeah.
So if things change a little, just know that Sean's fired for the day.
You know, we give him his opportunity to shine.
Turn his mic down for the rest of this podcast.
No, I'm going to post edit. He's down.
I'm going to let y'all get this off. I'm going to be in the comments, though.
Bro, we didn't have a second angle for you to protect yourself. What are you doing? First he on the mic, and this motherfucker he doesn't have a second card.
He couldn't sleep last night. He's like, yo,
angle.
babe, they're gonna put me on the mic tomorrow. I don't even know what to. I don't even know. I can't even sleep right now.
Tell me why. Sean pulled up today also with a full fit, like he was gonna be.
Yeah, like the camera's gonna be.
Man, listen, you know you gotta get dressed when you leave the house these days.
First of all, it's 90 degrees outside, my nigga.
Yeah, why are you wearing a long sleeve, bro?
I'm the coolest nigga y'all ever met. That's why.
Man. No, yeah, now
that's fair. That's fair.
This arrogant ass Aries.
Yo, I'm putting on my shoes today, and Sam was like looking me up and down, like, you know we're quarantining, right? Like, why you got me? Because she heard the Joe Budden podcast, and he was like, bro, you wear Balenciaga pants. You know, he was shitting on Joe for dressing the way he does. So she's trying to shit on me. I said, look, I get to dress up once a week. I know you're tired to see my ass in sweats and shorts and my fucking hair not combed. You should be happy I'm looking like this right now. I said, I'm surprised you're still with me. You haven't left my ass.
Who's that girl you going to see?
Yeah, right?
That's the question I get.
Miki.
Yeah, what?
You're my side.
You gotta let her know. I'm coming back to you dressed this way. Like, so
I ain't gonna smell any different. I'm not gonna put on cologne smelling different when I come back.
All right. Good work. Anyway, we've been here long enough.
We love you, Sam.
Welcome to our new set, by the way. All right. And hopefully we don't have to move shit around no more.
Yeah.
And with that being said, make sure to tune in tomorrow night
to
Pitbull's Globalization.
Yes, sir.
I finally got that shit in my car now, so I can take that fun little screenshot.
Very good.
Shout out to SiriusXM.
Bro, are you going to download it anytime soon?
My nigga, I have it in my car. I've been having it in my car.
Can we get a post that you're listening or something? Well,
I don't have the app. I'm not in you want me to jump in my car at 8 o'clock?
Download the app.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't have the app yet.
It's free.
I didn't even know the app existed.
It's been free for like a month.
Actually,
so which one of you motherfuckers told me that the app existed?
Phenom sent an email.
No, he did not.
Okay, I don't know what you get.
Exactly.
But I
Well,
did
not only is
mention
it free, but never mind. I won't even bring this up. You know why you should have it.
I have it in my whip. I just unfortunately don't be in my whip at the time that the show airs.
Quarantine.
It's quarantine time.
Yeah.
You could
So
have
get
just
the
ran
app,
to
I'm
bro.
gonna sit in my
take a
car.
picture.
and
Yeah,
listen to
run
this
into
shit.
your car, take
I
a
already
picture. and
have
get
the
out.
fucking. I already have the mix. So I'm like, I'm listening to it when I want to listen
Just
to
take
it.
a picture, bro. and
I
post
got
it
you.
on.
Don't
Take a
worry.
picture, Rell.
Link it. Fake the
Pretend
phone.
you're listening to it. Anyway,
Mickey took one picture and now I'm getting heat. You see this
Hey,
shit?
the viewers don't know. Viewers don't know the difference. They just see the picture up. They see the content out. It's okay.
Anyways,
we're working.
anyway.
We're working.
Tomorrow, check
tomorrow,
in.
man,
Who we
special
got? Who we
guest
got on the
Jason
show?
Craig,
Jason
Yeah.
Craig,
all the way from El Paso.
Yep. He just had a birthday.
Birthday too.
Happy
Another
birthday
area.
to him.
Yeah,
Yeah. And if you don't know his name, now you will.
yeah, for sure. And he'll be on there with me.
Yep.
So you guys are
Miki on the follow up.
blessed
Ooh.
with content week by week.
I'm saying Mickey coming with it, right? 2 mixes in a week's time.
Who is this guy?
Man, who is he?
Yeah, and make sure to check out Rell's new mix, Volume 3.
Volume 3
Oh,
so
yeah,
far
Volume
hasn't been
3.
pulled down. We're praying that it
Nah,
stays
yeah, it
up.
won't. This one won't get pulled
Okay.
down.
All right.
And then
And our next mix is from Shoney, San Diego Zone.
next week.
Yeah, next week, and I will be on the follow up of that. And I have a new remix out. Meet Me Halfway. That is out and about. Hit up DJcity or slide in my DM for a
Okay.
link.
Say it.
What's on your mind, Sean? Let's talk about it.
No, we're not going to talk
We
about
ready
it.
to
It's
go.
time to go.
meet him halfway.
Just meet me halfway on this.
So I think that does it for us.
Yeah, we just got to record some Shoney drops and we're out of here.
Oh, great, lovely. I'm ready.
All right.
We out. Peace.
Later.
Peace.